Congratulations! You booked a consultation. We are going to walk through this together. The goal is to make this as smooth as possible for your client. My best advice is to do a lot of your homework beforehand, and you'll be very efficient with your time when you meet in real life. Ideally, you want to have useful tools online for your client to do their research so that when you meet in person, all you have to do is match them to a swatch and take a deposit. In this video, we're gonna go over what happens next, what is a typical service pattern, vocabulary terms, pricing, setting realistic expectations, and how you are your best advertisement. What happens next? Below is a typical service pattern. Consult, deposit, order hair online, usually takes about a week to come in the mail, initial install, mini tightening, removal and reinstall, repeat last 2 steps. We will go over these more in detail throughout the course. Let's break down a typical consultation together. They are usually about 15 minutes long, but no longer than 30 minutes. Sit with them and get on eye level. I notice that when I talk down to people, I feel icky, but when I sit eye level with them, I feel more friendly. Get to know them, figure out what their hair dreams are, how much time they're willing to commit for their monthly salon visits and their daily routine as far as styling goes. This will help you navigate what methods to use and what category they fall into. Minimal, moderate, and maximum. We will go over this later. Match their natural hair to a swatch from your ring. Take pictures of the color matches and start a shared album with your client on your phone if you feel comfortable doing so. That way you can share photos easily and be super transparent as the journey goes on. If you'd rather, you can email them pictures, and that way you can start a paper trail that's easy to find. Write down the names of the swatches in your notes and or your booking software as a backup. Vocabulary. It's super important to keep your terms consistent as your client is learning about this too. Check it out.
Ready for a hair extension vocabulary lesson? Here we go. This is what is called a weft. It's basically hair sewn together to make like a sheet of hair, and then you create a track with beads and string, and you sew the weft to that track, and that's what's called a row. Another method that I do is called twin tab hair extensions, and that eliminates all sewing, so it's a little faster and it's a little more affordable. Hair extensions are placed below your crown, and your natural hair covers them up. Let me know if you have any questions.
Pricing. Have a structured formula to make the math easy. This also builds trust. Don't worry, I'm going to share my personal spreadsheets with you so you can have an example. Feel free to duplicate them and edit them however you want. Share a Google spreadsheet of your prices with your client. This is super professional and sets expectations well. A general rule of thumb for initial installs is triple the cost of hair. This will include the cost of the hair and the labor. General rule of thumb for maintenance is $2 a minute. By breaking it down into minimal, moderate, and maximum price ranges, it makes it super easy to figure out where the client sees themselves. Check out these Instagram highlights that you're more than welcome to recreate for your own Instagram. Setting realistic expectations. Be honest with pros and cons. Check out this video where I really break it down.
Pros and cons of hair extensions.
Pro, thicker hair. Cons, they take forever to dry. Longer hair, they can be itchy.
You can be more adventurous with your color. You can be more adventurous with your haircut. They can be expensive. They're totally customizable. They can be high maintenance. Extensions don't have to be styled as frequently because they hold a curl way better. It takes some getting used to, but once you find your rhythm, it's smooth sailing from there.
I typically talk people out of hair extensions more than I talk them into it. You never want to push extensions on someone because it could backfire on you. You really want them begging you to put extensions in for them. Never the other way around, in my experience. Twin tabs are going to be the fastest application, but they have their pros and cons. The hand-tied methods are going to take a little longer, but they have their pros and cons as well.
The difference between hand-tied and twin tab hair extension methods. Hand-tieds are kind of a novelty it girl right now. Twin tabs are not as well known. Hand-tieds are more like linear rows. Twin tabs are kind of like brick laid columns. Hand-tieds are super time consuming. Twin tabs are super quick because there's no sewing. Hand-tieds, you have the ability to layer on as much hair as possible. And with twin tabs, you can only put so many tabs on one head. Therefore, hand-tieds are better for maximum applications for fullness and length, and twin tabs are better for minimal applications for fullness and a little bit of length. Can you do a combo? Heck yeah. Are they both awesome and healthy for the hair because they aren't sticky or fused? Yup.
And lastly, the best advertisement is you. I encourage you to have extensions in your hair so you can show and tell about your personal experience. Experiment with different methods with a fellow stylist. Preferably someone you work with regularly so that when clients come in and ask questions, you have a real life model. If not, that's okay. Just be sure to have some pics and videos on your phone to show them. Create highlights on your Instagram profile with customized breakdowns. You're more than welcome to copy and paste mine to yours, but also feel free to charge more or less than me. Create a link that you can send to your clients with all the frequently asked questions, pricing, and aftercare. If this seems really intimidating, you're more than welcome to copy and paste from my website or print something out to give your client. Woof! That was a long one, but probably one of the most important topics. Please let me know if you have any questions.